Guys, welcome to the show.
Oops. Class is in session. Son's class.
Guys, welcome. We're no longer tardy to the party.
I was going to do a fall joke here, but I think I'll save that for next week.
What? Is it actually a joke?
No, but it was a fall opener.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not going to say September morning, are you?
No.
And that's going to be it?
No.
Well,
that would be funny.
Guys, we had a little break last week. Mr. D Marx was on vacation.
Well, I mean, I think we took Labor Day off last year, too.
Well, also, it's not a lie. You were on vacation.
Yeah, but you're making it seem
Why
like
is that
it's
not
all my fault.
No, it's both of our faults. I did not choose to do the podcast by myself, which is it's a very real option.
Now you're still making it sound like it's my fault.
How is that? That's clearly my fault.
Shaking my head, guys. I'm shaking my head.
But, guys, I was shocked to learn that we received some mail.
What?
From the new head of our building. Guys, you may have seen...
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about this.
You may have seen...
This happened while I was on vacation.
Well, yeah, I just made you aware of it recently, though.
Yeah.
You may have heard that we we've moved locations. We're now in the Sons Chrysler building.
Well,
it was formerly the Chrysler building.
It was funny because when I got back from vacation, I went to the old Empire State Building. The Sons Empire State Building.
Yeah, no.
We aren't there anymore.
We moved. We moved to the Sons Chrysler
Did we
building.
tear that down?
No, it's still there.
Oh, okay.
I think we donated it to...
I thought we talked about that.
To Sons.
Oh, I think you're turning into a hyper orphanage, right?
Yeah. It's the world's largest and tallest orphanage.
Yeah.
It's got so many layers for children, and that's just great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it turns out, for some reason, we're now under the influence of the podcast principal.
Well, he's the building owner.
Yeah, which I feel like we're the building owners, first of all, if we can change the name. And so, bizarrely, we got some points off of our permanent record here for tardiness.
Well, from the way I understand it is that we were paying him to run the building.
Oh, so he's like a super. He's like a super.
Yeah, he's kind of. It's a cyclical loop. It's a Mobius strip of command. That's what we have.
So, like, he owns it, but we own him, but he owns us.
Exactly.
So, I don't...
Also, guys, I think Mobius strip of command is really funny. Just as a brief aside.
I hope everyone else felt that, too. So, anyway, I don't know if that means we're not allowed to take any more vacations. I'm assuming it absolutely does not.
Well, the thing is, vacation is all I ever wanted, and I have to get away.
Right.
So, I'm going to go do that.
Right. I'm not going to alter my schedule in any way to help this podcast principle.
What did the note say? Was it like a strongly worded letter?
It was actually incredibly passive aggressive.
He like, Dear Sons, you fudging messed up.
No.
Big time.
It was much more passive aggressive. I don't have it in front of me. I gave it to some intern to burn to make more fuel for the orphanage to be heated. It was a really, really thick letter. Made of the. It was made of Duralogs.
I thought you burned a computer.
Duraflames. No,
I thought you burned a computer because it was an email.
We don't have enough money for that. But it was something along the lines of, "Oh, it's so great how you guys didn't do a podcast this week, and I'm totally not giving you a tardy thing on your permanent record."
Dude, maybe he was being genuine.
You think so?
It's possible.
I've heard that the podcast principal is often misconstrued as being sarcastic when he means it. Also, that he's the most honest guy, and he's never used sarcasm.
You know, these are things I feel like we'll need to check into.
I'm gonna have the interns get it out of the incinerator.
Good.
And
Good.
You know what?
Piece those ashes back together.
I'm not gonna meet up with the guy though. The idea of having a principal bothers me.
Well, he's like what, 20 floors down? That's too much.
Yeah.
Well, he's simultaneously 20 floors down and 20 floors up.
Where are we?
We're in a quantum middle.
That's got to be expensive.
It's cheaper to maintain than you'd think.
Well,
because we're renting out the pocket dimension.
Oh, see, I'm not aware of any of this. I just get the work done.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I just come into the quantum envelope that we live in.
That's fair.
And then I get the work done.
Oh, look, you're going home too. That's cool.
Oh, now I'm scared. Now I'm real scared.
Anyway, guys.
Speaking of a quantum envelope, not really. There's no way we could segue into that.
Actually, well, we almost could if we did one thing first and not the other thing first.
I don't know what any of the things are, but I know what I'm going to talk about right now.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's the thing everyone wants us to talk about, which is obviously Rome 2, which just came out this week.
Came out the week from today, a week ago today.
Yeah, it came out last Tuesday. And guys,
And it also comes out next Tuesday. No.
God. Here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna give you my frankish
Give it
opinions.
straight. Give me your most Gaul opinion.
I'm gonna be Charlemagne about this.
Nailing it today, guys.
Didn't make any sense.
Dude, because instead of Frank, it's Gaul.
No, it's really good. Okay. Guys, there is a great game hidden in this buggy game right now. Guys, there's so much potential here, but right now, if you were planning on buying it and you for some reason had to wait a week, wait a little longer, because it's not ready yet. Put that one back in the oven, because she's not ready. Here's the deal, guys. I already have like 15 hours in it, and I'm enjoying every minute.
But you're dealing with it.
I'm struggling, guys.
Yeah.
We at the Sons of Vidya have what a lot of people call
super patience.
Yes, but I was going to say an above-average tolerance for bugs in games, which is evidence from how much we played New Vegas when it came out, which was possibly the most buggy game of all time.
Yeah.
And we loved that game, and we put hundreds of hours in that immediately. And I'm enduring this right now. Rome 2 is extremely poorly optimized, which it basically can't run on anything.
It's almost insanely poorly optimized.
Like, guys, I have a computer that can run Shogun 2 and Ultra with no hiccups at all. I probably get like 50 frames per second. It runs flawlessly. It's a very intense game, and it runs flawlessly. I get maybe 20 frames when we're recording. Wink. I get maybe 10 frames per second, which is outrageously low. That's not like reasonable for most people because like most people don't have the system I have.
Right. With your 18 cores,
my 145
your
cores.
terabytes of RAM.
Dude, look at the wall over there to the west corridor of the Sons Chrysler building.
Okay.
Those are all cores.
That's a lot of cores.
You know how like
you know what his operating system is? Watson.
That's pretty funny. You remember like whenever you see like an old school picture like the Who or something, they had like a whole wall of amps.
Yeah.
That's me in cores. But the thing is, guys, underneath this, I'm still coming back to it, and I'm still playing it despite all this crap. Guys, the turns, every time you take a turn, like when you're ending it and going to your next turn, there's like a 1 to 2 minute wait because of how much stuff the computer's processing and like all the enemy factions and stuff.
I want to say that's maybe always been the case.
It's not.
Well, no, because here's what I'm thinking.
Sorry.
Because it's possible.
Very sorry.
Right. Guys, we've talked about this a few times, but there's a mod for Medieval 2 that we love because it essentially makes Medieval 2 from a great game into a hyper, super, mega great game.
It's the ultimate form of Medieval 2.
It really is. It's called Stainless Steel. And Stainless Steel adds a bunch of new stuff in, but all the stuff that it adds means that it also increases turning actual time. So I think maybe because we face this problem in our America's run as well. So it's possible that for some reason Medieval 2 has almost like a blanket that it kind of throws over and it like speeds things up. Honestly, I'm not sure why it has to move everything because really you'd think that they could just teleport the units where they need to go. I'm assuming they are, but it just is that there's so many factions doing it. Well, not in our America's run.
No, in that one we have for some reason have a permanent show CPU moves on. That's not the case of Rome 2, guys. Show CPU moves is off, and it still takes that long. But the thing is, that's a long wait. It's hard. It's a hard wait to get through, and I don't know if they'll ever be able to fix that. Honestly,
well, because the thing is, there's like a million different factions.
There's the most factions ever, guys, and that's why I'm saying that there's a great game somewhere under here because the scale is so big.
It really is. Even though it's a bigger map than Medieval is because it goes more into Asia. Yeah. Central Asia than the Medieval map.
There's also, I believe, the regions are smaller too.
Yeah,
so there's more like.
And I think it goes further down to Africa as well.
Yeah.
Because if it's going down to like Axum, that's where Ethiopia is. Yeah. So that's mid Africa.
It's a huge scale map. There's a bunch of stuff. There's easily over 100 factions right off.
Oh,
the
and you
bat.
have you had all of Britain in the other one.
Yeah, and you have
Britain's bigger.
Britain's bigger
because there's more provinces. Yeah.
But the scale is much grander than before. But
it was like if you took all of the like expansion maps from Medieval's kingdoms and put them onto a single map. Because that's kind of what they did for Stainless Steel as well.
Basically, yeah. That's basically what you're getting. And I keep coming back and playing it, and there's so much cool stuff. Like the feeling you get when you send your Roman war dogs at a bunch of stupid rebels who think they have a chance is unbelievably delightful. And it's hilarious to read all the threads where people are like, Romans are so OP. And it's just to think about that in the context of history is hilarious to me, because I like to imagine some dude over in like Averny is like, these Romans are too strong. Life is broken and stuff like that. But it's so cool, and there's all these neat units, and there's like 700 units in the game. There's so much stuff there, but it was clearly rushed out a little early.
Yeah, I think that's a problem that you're seeing with a lot of times these days. Because we had this discussion, and this is a lot. These are both unfounded. These are Sons guesses, trademark.
D Marx Sons guess, if you ask me.
What?
What are you? I don't know what you're gonna say yet.
You gotta let me finish these things. Because when we talked about Bioshock Infinite, we also discussed how that felt like a very rushed game. And I feel like more and more days that's kind of, there's a lot more pressure to meet like demands, especially because this game was definitely trying to beat the, the holiday rush, because it's not as big of as a seller. It's not going to be as big as sellers like, Modern Warfare, the new
it's never
Grand Theft Auto. So there is a bit of pressure to get out before all those big AAA releases that are coming out very soon, so they can make that money. It's like when they release movies in the off season.
Yeah, it was easily the biggest title release in this area of time.
And they're doing patches every week for, I assume, the next several years.
Way on patches, guys.
Every week for the next several years.
I'm hoping it won't require that much. But they are all over it. They're very aware of the problems people are having. Most people were a little confused as to why there was not like an open beta to test the game out and to get all the stuff fixed before the release.
That's probably because they didn't have the time.
They probably didn't have the time. Most fans are considering this time the open beta, and like in a month from now the game will officially be done. Which that's it kind of sucks that you have to endure that, but I'm still having fun with the game. If that's what you want to consider it, whatever. It does suck that it's not there yet, but a lot of Total War games aren't exactly there yet when they first come out, because they're so big and there's so much stuff to do and everyone's systems are so different. I understand that. I haven't lost faith in Creative Assembly or anything, but I wish the game was there right now, because the glimmers I'm getting of awesomeness are so good. It has the potential to be one of the best Total Wars of all time.
Yeah, I mean, all of the pieces are there.
Yeah,
as you said. But it's just a case of they're not really moving together as a single machine.
They just need to incubate a bit more.
Yeah.
I would also argue that the immersion and general feel is worse than Shogun 2.
That kind of got that feeling, too, from when I was watching.
Because Shogun 2 is a masterful game, which the entire time you're like, I'm a Japanese man, and this is about to get real. Because even like the loading screens look like they're like,
oh yeah, they don't have this, yeah,
like sweet Zen.
They were like wood carve. They were like wood blocks.
Yeah, there's stuff like that.
Yeah, no, because they're not like loading screen frescoes or anything like that. It's like it's like screenshots, like it is in Medieval.
Yeah, it's just kind of bland, and like it's not immersive. Like, I mean, I guess like there wasn't that much. Maybe people wouldn't recognize that art style or whatever.
Dude, well, I think everyone's seen a Grecian urn before.
Yeah,
like those,
How much does a Grecian urn?
What's a Grecian urn?
Dang it! I've never been good at these jokes.
Anyway, yeah, I definitely can kind of get that feeling too, guys. I haven't played it. I've watched Tom play it a little bit, skis, and I don't want to say I wasn't impressed, because, as you said, there's definitely a lot of potential in the game, but for some reason, something was just.
It's just not there yet.
Something was just missing for me. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Trust me, when you get down there and you get personal with the game when it's done, you're going to love it. You're going to love it a lot, because all the factions feel really unique and everything's
cool. Know what I don't like? And this is just a relatively minor complaint. I don't like how you can, like, see the projectiles.
What?
Like the spears, they have that white aura when they fly.
That's always the case.
No,
absolutely.
Not in the other games.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
You're about to feel like a jerk, but here it comes. It was absolutely in Shogun 2, but I had a mod on that removed projectile trails because it increased performance on my system.
Well, I don't think it was in Medieval 2.
Not as obviously as it is in this game. In this game, there's like trails.
It's like it's Comet's tail.
Yeah, it's like vapor trails. It wasn't so much in 2 Medieval.
Yeah,
2.
I didn't like that. It felt too cartoony for as realistically, quote unquote, a game it was trying to be. You
True.
know?
A lot of people have also complained this one's a little casualized or a little more arcadey because of the like millions of new options that generals have. Like, there's a bunch of new abilities that for some reason units get that are all kind of samey while still being not that effective. And people don't like the city building aspects as much because it's like less choices but more straightforward in a way that's not exactly clear. Because they have a new system of provinces and cities and stuff that's kind of confusing. It's more like Empire than Shogun, which is a step backwards if you ask me. But I learned to deal with it. These are all problems that everyone could get over if they would just say, oh, I just have to learn a new system, if the game ran perfectly.
Yeah,
but it doesn't. So it's just another thing that people can go, is this right? When everything else is so wrong, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame that it didn't immediately seem like it was better than Shogun, you know? Because like when Shogun came out, and admittedly by that time we hadn't played Empire, but when Shogun came out, and of course adjusting, adding in the fact that there was a sizable gap between these two games, but when Shogun came out, when we first started playing it, we were like, this is obviously much, much better than Medieval.
Yeah.
Like, everything about this game is superior.
I had played Empire at that point, and
okay.
I didn't like Empire.
Yeah, I know you said you didn't.
Apparently
didn't really
now Empire's like finally good.
Yeah.
Like it used to act like when it came out it was pretty poor too, I hear. But like they just finally got it to a place where it's really good.
But
not that I'm gonna play it.
Because the way Shogun worked when we first started playing it, like I said, it was like, this is obviously great, and this is obviously, you know, a lot of improvements, a lot of streamlining, not necessarily casualization, but a lot of streamlining just to make things make more sense.
The UI and the building stuff was all just better.
Yeah,
it's all just better.
Follow more logical paths.
Yeah.
To everything. So
the tech tree was great and well laid out.
Yeah.
Like everything was straightforward, and it was the perfect version of the medieval formula that you've come to know.
We're not even going to talk about Fall of Samurai, the pinnacle of effing Total War games.
Many people regard as the best, including probably myself.
Oh yeah,
that was
absolutely.
Terrific.
No, Fall of Samurai is a peerless grand strategy game as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I fired it up. I fired both of them up last night just to make sure they actually did run well, and the answer is yes. They run like perfectly, and the turns take maybe 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like they're just, it's not fair to compare a game that just came out to a game that existed for all this time.
I don't think that should be the case though. I don't see why it's not fair to compare a new game to an old game, even if it did just come out.
You're not
because
wrong.
ideally the
better.
game should work.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't want to be one of these apologists who like just give them some time, because I maybe I should be one of those guys who's like, it's unacceptable to release a game in this state, but I just don't want. I'm not that negative of a person. I wish that it was better, and I can't endorse.
Are you disappointed at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Because the way it was getting pumped up, like there's so much stuff that was going to be awesome, and it's all there, but it's just not ready yet. Like it will be there in like a month or two.
It's like Christmas.
You
know it's coming.
Like they needed to get those pre-order sales and all that stuff in their pocket because whatever reason. And
yeah,
eventually they're going to make it.
It definitely has a lot. It definitely's got a lot to do with the season.
Yeah, and like, it's there, but it's just not yet.
Okay.
And so in my mind, I can't tell you, our wonderful audience, that you should go out and buy this game today, which is what I'm sure Creative Assembly would like people to be able to do when a game comes out. You know.
All right. Here's a question. It's released now. It was released last week in its normal state, or they push it back till March of next year, and it runs perfect. And like all the bugs are fixed. Which would be more preferable to you?
Now, because I'm enjoying it right now. I am still enjoying it. Because
that's what they did with BioShock. Because it was supposed to come out in like October, and then they said they had about a month's more worth of work to put into it. But if they released it at the same time as when Call of Duty was out, it would get totally slaughtered in sales. So they pushed it back far, far after the holiday season.
Yeah. I'm having fun with it. I'm able to deal with it. They're getting a lot of bad press because there's a lot of people who can't deal with it, and I understand that.
I think those people just need to learn how to deal with it.
Well, that too, but you know, I respect that they have that they're upset about this.
No, it's as far as gamers and internet things go, it's a reasonable thing to be upset about.
It's a fair thing to be upset about. Yeah. The AI in the game is more passive and quite a bit wonky in battle, too, which you have people who are beating legendary difficulty campaigns without having the war declared on them even a single time. That's how passive they are, which that's all going to be fixed. It's just not ready yet, guys. As much as it pains me to say that. I still want to play it, and every time I do play it, I have fun with it. But it's not what you want it to be yet, and it cannot compare currently with Shogun 2, which is still the pinnacle of the series. But if it gets to that point of care and like perfection that Shogun 2 is, it might be better than it. Because there's just so much more stuff and so much more variation and so much more uniqueness.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely, like you said, I appreciate what they were trying to go for, because there's definitely a lot of attention paid to just all of the stuff that would have been going on in Roman times. Mm-hmm. Because there's, a bunch of different civs, and there's I think most of them have unique unit rosters, if I remember correctly.
Well, all the ones you can pick do.
Yeah. So there's no
somebody made a full roster mod where you can pick anything on the map. Those don't have unique ones, obviously.
That would be pretty cool, though.
It would be totally cool.
Because I would like to play as, the Axomites, but that's just me. I am disappointed.
It's not a bad game, but it's not a good game yet. Just wait it out. I don't want to say wait till the Steam winter sale, but that's what everyone on Earth is doing.
Yeah.
At this point, that'd be one of the safest bets you'd ever make. But if you're really, really hardcore and you really have an unbelievably powerful system, then
a lot of patience,
then it's still a pretty good game. And it hurts me to not tell you that it's the best game ever. It's certainly not Game of the Year at this point, even though I'll probably play it more than whatever a Game of the Year is, which we have to actually start thinking about now I think about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting close, dude. That's
unfortunate.
This year's getting out of the way.
And you know what else is getting out of the way? This segment of the show.
We'll see you after the break. Whoa.
Is nap time over already? I asked.
It's fun to
wearily
dream.
Opening my eyes.
Tell me about...
I'm narrating. I'm narrating, by the way. I'm going to narrate our podcasts.
Great. Tell me
Tom
about...
seemed less than enthused about my narration prospect, but I was going to carry on with it.
Yeah. I really feel like this bit's going somewhere. You should tell me about all
your... still seemed doubtful. His sarcasm left a palpable tension in the air.
Have you ever had a video game related dream?
Yeah.
You ever dream about video games? You ever played Meteos for so long that the little pieces were stuck in your eyeballs when you went to bed?
Which one was Meteos?
Meteos was a DS puzzle game that's among the best puzzle games of all time. The answer is no, you've probably never played that.
No, I haven't.
I
seem to remember you talking about it now.
You never played a DS. By the way, we got to talk...
I played a DS.
Oh, you totally have one. But we got a quick segue into this. I'm only going to touch on this. Do you have something to talk about here?
I kind of do, yeah.
Well, I'm going to touch on this just briefly.
All right.
Guys, over the break, the 2DS was announced, which is a 3DS that is not capable of 3D. It's just two screens on a flat thing. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, and it's like bigger screens, right?
I think it's normal size screens.
Well, for the 3DS, because the 3DS had bigger screens than the regular DS.
Yeah, it's 3DS size. It's not 3DS XL size, which is the bigger one.
Okay.
But it's a flat thing with both the screens flat. It doesn't close.
Yeah.
It's just it's almost like a tablet, but not really. But it's coming out at the same time as Pokemon XY and ZY or whatever.
I think it's just X and Y.
I don't know what they're called. But it's also only $130.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. It's very tempting for people like me who know there's a Fire Emblem game that they really want to play.
Or a new Pokemon game.
Yeah, we'll talk about Pokemon after Fire Emblem's done, because Fire Emblem's one of the best games of all time. But anyway, guys...
I still say they need to make a new Advance Wars game.
No, that's disgusting that doesn't exist. That is an insult to everybody. But anyway, that was kind of big news. A lot of people think it's stupid. I think it's a good idea, because it appeals to me, a person who doesn't want to spend a lot of money to play a game.
Yeah, it's a good low-cost alternative.
A lot of people are like, oh, I'll buy two then. Which, bam, it's a really good idea. Just saying. Anyway...
Why is it a good idea to buy two?
Because some people are like, oh, I could buy one for me and my son.
Oh,
I
yeah,
could buy
yeah,
one
yeah,
for
yeah.
me
No, I
and
gotcha.
my wife or whatever. Because now people, instead of just being able to afford one, they can afford two almost for the price.
Yeah.
Or for only slightly more, you know? And nobody cares about this 3D crap. Everyone's sick of it. It's like
Now,
the
I always
Kinect,
thought it was
which
especially
still...
weird for like for a handheld console.
No, it's disgusting.
Handheld, no, obviously it's not a handheld console, but
I think you could probably call it a console if you wanted to. No one's gonna crap on your birthday.
that's good.
I'm making a new expression.
Huh? You can see your dog run away for 3 days straight.
Yep, that's also one we're just making up today because I've never heard it before right now.
Guys, we have fun.
Okay. So anyway, I just want to touch on that briefly because we're video game journalists now, I guess.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Anyway, thank you for listening.
This has been Tom C's private time.
When Tom C
Corner.
touches upon thine D. Marx, what's up with you?
Good save. All right. So we talked about this last week.
No, we're not talking about Star Wars for 30 minutes, all right?
Did we talk about Star Wars last week?
And whenever you do this, it's always Star Wars. I'm sick of Star Wars.
We're not talking about Star Wars.
Star Trek?
No.
Star Search?
No.
Star Jones?
No.
All right.
So I traded in a few games, and I bought Saints Row 4, guys.
Oh, yeah. I meant to ask about this.
It's weird.
I don't like the sound of that.
Well, okay. Let me start off, guys, by telling you a little story about how this essentially is not... It's not really a Saints Row game.
Say what?
I'm very curious about what you would think of it. I definitely want to let you borrow it, and I definitely want you to play it, because...
Get in line, son. I got too many games.
I know.
It's game dearth.
It's the opposite of a dearth.
Right.
It's a surplus.
I was using, like, you know how they just made literal a definition mean the exact opposite of literal?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
That's what they did with dearth, too.
I kind of like that.
They also did it with dearth.
You have a dearth of time to play the games.
Yeah. Which one does he mean? Who knows?
Yeah, I'm very curious about what you would think of it, because it's very different and very...
In what regard?
Okay.
In tone or in...
Let's first start at the beginning.
That's
Guys,
a good place to
we
start.
talked about this last week, but we'll recap again. So in Saints Row 4, you and your crew of gang members get abducted by aliens, and essentially you are playing in a Matrix-like world where you get superpowers and have fun using superpowers on people.
Yes.
So that right there is substantially different from every other Saints Row game, except for that one level and that one DLC in Saints Row the Third.
Yes.
So it adds a whole...
Well, it's not unsimilar from Saints Row 3 where you went into the computer simulation.
Yeah, but that was one part. This
yes,
is the entire
true.
game.
It also was a terrible part of that game.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me a quick aside. What was the one thing that Saints Row activities required to make them more fun? Yes, it was a medal system where you have to earn rankings. That was the correct answer.
I'm not sure I understand why this is happening.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't like that. Because what I did was I took Tom C's method of playing Saints Row, which is just play it on the easiest difficulty. You're not there to impress anybody. You're here to have fun.
Hey guys, I beat Saints Row 4 on super legendary difficulty.
Yeah, it's like...
Bow down, losers. No one's ever said that
yeah,
in the
I was just
history
like,
of the world.
You know what? Casual. I don't care. Let's do it.
What's that? It gives you ability bullets and you're covered in invincible armor. That's great.
Yeah, so I've been playing it just on the easiest difficulty, and I've don't get me wrong, at its course level, I'm having fun with it. It's a fun game. It definitely is very addictive. The powers are fun to use. You do end up coming back to the one a lot, just because it's the one that charges the fastest and has the most obvious effects. But you know they're interesting enough.
Care to clarify on that one there?
Okay, well you have four main. You have 4 active and 4 passive powers. Mm-hmm. And the 4 active powers are telekinesis, buff, quote unquote, which just buffs you with an element, stomp, and blast. And you end up coming to blast a lot just because it's very powerful and recharges very quickly.
Okay.
And then the 4 passive ones you have are super speed, super jumping. It's one called Death from Above, where you can slam into the ground with your fist. And
that one's probably the least creatively named.
Yeah, but it does. But when you get to a high enough level, you can put a nuke effect on it.
I'm into that.
And then one's like an energy shield thing. But Powers are fun. The problem, it does suffer from some problems, and I'm trying to think about just how...
Is the problem that you didn't want to play Infamous, you wanted to play Saints Row?
That's part of it, yes. Another part is they've essentially made cars obsolete because you run faster than any car in the game.
But cars are the best part of those kind of games.
Right? Like, you always want the cars, but like...
Hold on, question 2. Do you get your own personal iPod?
Oh, that is good. You do have that is something I was going to mention. You do have a walk around iPod.
Okay, good. Then you're good because that's secretly the only reason to drive cars.
Well, I think they
3,
specifically put that in there just for that reason, that they know a lot of people weren't going to take cars.
Right.
So when you're just walking around,
I find that real stupid though. That seems. Why would you even make cars then?
Because you have to have stuff to destroy with your powers.
I'm not on board with this yet. Anyway, go on.
But yeah, you mentioned something about tone. Tone is also kind of inconsistent. Not that in Saints Row it has ever been, one thing or the other, except for maybe the first one and the second one. But like, you have one thing where you're a fun Saints man, and you're going around blasting dudes with your Kamehameha powers, and you're using an alien minigun to mow down the flying things. But then you find audio logs of the Julius, the guy from Saints Row 1, and who made a brief appearance in 2, but he's like, Saints Row man is a total psychopath. And if I regret one thing, it's ever letting him into the gang, because he's only going to lead us to more bloodshed. It's really not a consistent tone, because it keeps on going back and forth between super dark and super zany.
Right.
A lot. Also, the game is it's not tongue in cheek; it's tongue through cheek, because of how the great lengths it goes to parody things. Like in one mission I was doing where you have to, in order to save your crew members, you have to go into their version of the simulations, because for some reason your worst nightmare is the most fun thing imaginable, which is going around the city with superpowers, and theirs are all personal hells for some reason. But you have to go into everybody's different simulations to free them. And one of the ladies, she's like a spy, super agent kind of lady. So you're doing Metal Gear Solid, sneaking around kind of stuff.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. So it tries to parody those very obviously, and I don't know, man. It's so weird. I really don't know how I feel about this game, and I honestly don't think I've never felt this way about a game before.
This is going to be a weird question. Does it remind you at all of Blood Dragon?
It does remind me a lot of Blood Dragon for a lot of reasons.
Because I'm feeling that kind of tongue-in-cheekness.
Oh yeah, no, obviously
parodying itself right in the open.
Because you have that neon future style of stuff. There's a lot of neon purple and a lot of neon blue. You go around, the way you find out more about the villains' backstories, you find text-based adventures that you play in your ship, like text game stuff. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of it does take a lot from that style.
Have you romanticized anybody yet?
Apparently it's just a button you push.
Okay, well, have you done it?
Oh yeah, of course.
What does that do?
It's just like a brief scene. It's not any lasting consequences for what I've seen.
Okay. I respect that.
Yeah, I think it's just another thing that they want to throw in.
Maybe it's like a joke almost.
Yeah, to be because in Mass Effect and Dragon Age and all that other stuff and Fable, games like that, you can romance people, so they kind of wanted to poke fun at that as well. But really, it's just so weird.
Okay, well, this game I heard cost $450. Do you think it's worth it?
$450?
Yeah, do you think it was worth the price? You paid $450, right?
I mean, for a game as fun as it is,
it's widely known as the most expensive game out there right now.
Yeah, it's pretty high up there. I mean, it's fun. I mean, I definitely do I like some of the things that they do. The humor's pretty good. It's still pretty well written and stuff. You know how in Saints Row 3, and I probably did this in 2, I probably don't remember. But you know how you drive around with Pierce and he starts singing along to songs?
Yeah.
And you sing as well?
I think that was only in 3, I think.
Possibly. But in one part, they do that again, except the main bad guy hacks into your radio and he starts singing along and your guys start getting really mad. It makes me laugh. That's another thing. Okay, so aside from the fact that the villain is a space alien, I cannot stop thinking that he is Killface from Frisky Dingo. Allow me to demonstrate. This is the villain from Saints Row.
Okay.
And
that's an incredibly unimaginative.
This is why you have to reload Google search. Don't do that. And this is Killface.
That's an extremely unimaginative guy, by the way, the first person.
And that's Killface.
Yeah, they look extremely similar.
They look extremely similar. Also, they're both very cultured British aliens. So the similarities between that are pretty obvious. And I
wonder if anyone else has pointed that out so far, because that seems like clear to me.
I know. I really wonder. They might have even gotten the same voice actor.
You may be the only person who's ever watched Frisky Dingo, though.
I think it was a popular enough show.
Is Sasha Grey in this game too?
No, thank God.
Why? She's such an actress and an artist.
Dude, I'm so happy she's not in this game. Like, I hated hearing...
But what about her character? Those twins? Was that her character?
Yeah.
Was she both the twins?
Yeah, she was both. No, I don't think she was, weirdly enough.
I also don't think she was. She was the one who lived, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, why didn't she show up? The character lived.
It's probably
they
because...
couldn't hire her for an incredibly expensive
Dude,
fee.
if I had to listen to another game of her droning on about something, I don't...
Oh, please, she's so talented.
How empowered of a woman she is.
Oh,
I would have
God, she's great. Boy, what a talent.
Although, and this
isn't... What? Is there a different person?
This isn't really a spoiler because they pretty much all but say it in the game, but everyone's favorite psycho mass murderer, Johnny Gat, is back.
What? Oh, you haven't beat it yet?
What?
Have you beat the game yet?
No.
So so they're saying he's gonna come back.
Oh no, I have him.
Oh.
But they pretty a lot of promotional items and stuff they talk about how he's gonna come back.
Is he back for the simulation or is he back in real life?
He's back in real life because in Saints Row 3, when he's on the airplane and he's like beating up that one guy, the alien dude abducts him there because he thinks that Johnny Gat is the only one who can stop his invasion plans because he's the most murderous man in all of history.
You know what would have been smart? Making this a DLC for 3.
Hey, you know what it originally was? An expansion pack for 3.
Because then you'd have like closure there that was clearly originally planned. And then you'd have like this thing that's weird and maybe not enough for a full game being like a DLC and stuff. Wouldn't that be weird?
I mean, like I said, we did talk about how this game originally was an expansion pack for 3. But they do a pretty good job at filling it out. I mean, I don't feel...
But doesn't it feel like it's just there to fill it out?
It definitely seems like a continuation of 3. Sorry, guys, I don't know why this is a break.
Couldn't think of numbers before 4.
I was going to say 2, but I knew that was wrong.
Well, technically it is.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, fine. But like in the same way that... I'm trying to think of a good example here. I don't know, but it's
pretty good.
I don't despise it. I know it's tough.
I know it's hard to think of sequels.
It's just I can't put my finger on how I feel about this game.
I would say that you love it.
On the one hand,
boy, you love it.
It's not a Saints Row game, which is kind of what I want. But on the other hand, it is fun. I am enjoying myself. It's clever. It's well paced. The way they go about explaining everything works well within the universe. So there's not any obvious like, well, why, blah 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 blah. It all makes sense within itself. So I can't.
Here's my dumb question. You keep saying it's not a Saints Row game. So what, in your definition, would be a Saints Row game? What is it doing that does not make it a Saints Row game?
Really, the powers and the aliens. I mean, that's a major complaint, is that I don't like fighting aliens as much as I like fighting the different gangs. Because in 3, and in 2, and in 1, the game was based around the premise of fighting 3 different gangs because they pissed you off for one reason or another, and you were going to get back on top because you're going to throw these guys into trash compactors or something. I don't know. They'll figure something out. But in this game, it's always aliens.
Right.
And that detracts from the feel, I think. They bring some of the gangs back through, like, because it's a simulation, obviously. But, like, it's just not as fun to wail on aliens as it is to wail on rival gang members. Because you don't feel like you're in a gang. You feel like you're part of the human race.
Yeah. Nobody wants that.
Which I guess is kind of the point, but...
Are you the real-life president or a simulation president?
You're a real-life president. You get abducted and put in a simulation.
Okay, that's still stupid. So you're saying that because it's introducing so many new things that are not making sense in the previous other games, that it makes it feel like it's not a real part of the series.
It just feels like a different game because it essentially is.
Yeah.
Because not even taking not even taking 3 into consideration. If you look at 2 and then look at 4, and you put them side by side, and you like.
No, you say they were different games.
Yeah, you put masking tape on the cover, on the box art, on the box titles, and to like, hey, is this part of the same franchise? It'd be like, I don't know, of course not.
Yeah, no, yeah. Are there guns?
Yeah, there's still guns. Oh, that is one thing that's cool.
They added the Chippewa Rhino? Because they totally did.
Did they?
Yeah, it's the revolver.
Oh, I thought that was the Matebo.
Give me a second. I thought it was the Chippewa.
Well, what is cool is that you can reskin guns, which I like. Mm-hmm. And this is purely cosmetic, but like, you can make the rocket launcher look like a potato gun, or make it look like a space gun. For sci-fi geeks, they throw in a lot of stuff like the heavy pistols you get. You can make them Captain Malcolm Reynolds guns from Firefly.
Really?
And the light pistols you can turn to Han Solo blasters.
They really added a lot then, I guess.
Yeah, because they tell you the types of guns that they are. Because it's like the heavy pistol or the quick pistol, and then you can decide how they look from there.
Well, I can dig that.
Yeah, I mean, I like that, but it's just weird, guys. I want to know people's opinions of this game, because I've seen a lot of people who are as conflicted as I am about it. You know. I've seen a lot of threads of people who are like, I don't know, but it is fun. Like, am I?
I would say it's very fair to say that it's just not the series that you are familiar with, and I don't think that's. I can't find a picture of this thing, guys. I'm sorry. I seem to recall it being a Chippewa, not a Mateba, but a Mateba is more popular design, so it'd probably be that. Anyway, it makes sense to me that you'd be a little confused because it's clearly not the same gameplay. I don't want to say that they can't introduce new gameplay, but it's not what you came to that series for.
Yeah,
if you went to Zelda and they started having guns, you'd be confused.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It'd be like if they put superpowers in a Metal Gear Solid game. You'd be like, obviously, what are you thinking, guys?
You're playing Pokemon, and then it turned out it was just a racing game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a difference between adding some new stuff and like ridiculous stuff.
Because
like,
they added a lot of stuff. Because they added a lot of stuff for 3, which I liked.
Here's the deal: you make 3, but in 4 you get a jetpack. No one's going crazy, right?
Yeah, no
one's like, all right, I get it. It's a jetpack.
Because they were more gradual about the stuff that they put in. Because you had lasers and you had like funky flying machines in 3, but at least they were like they gradually kind of fed it in. In this game, they're just like, you guys like superpowers? Let's go.
It would have been like super. It would have, you would have really been led into it if it was a DLC for 3. Which,
well, I think, yeah.
Do you feel like it should have been a DLC for 3? All right, he's been brainwashed, guys.
Well, the thing is,
he's brainwashed. We got to put him down.
Let's be clear here. Let's be fair.
I don't think we do fair here on the show.
Let's be fair. It was supposed to be an expansion pack. It was supposed to be a standalone expansion.
I'm saying DLC, and that's very fair.
It was supposed to be a standalone expansion in the vein of like a Fall of the Samurai.
I would
that expansive.
Okay.
Would it be better suited as that? Possibly.
Like in a way that Blood Dragon was for
exactly.
Far Cry 3. See, that would make a little more sense to me. I think I would be more forgiving of that. But I'm not,
like I said, they didn't do a bad job filling out the game. It feels robust. It feels, it feels fun.
I mean, I haven't played it yet, obviously.
I really am curious about what you would think about it. Because you would either hate it or not hate it.
Well, I'm turned off already off the bat, just because I didn't like the direction 3 was going, and this is just further in that direction.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you there.
Because I'm sure they didn't make motorcycles better, and that's all I care about.
It really is all you care about.
Because
although you can lift up motorcycles with your mind and throw them at people.
Can I ride them at the same time?
No.
Well, then screw it, dude. I can't do sweet backflips, which is all I care about.
Yeah, but you can fall from like a mile in the sky and make a nuclear explosion with your fist.
I don't hate that.
Which is pretty cool.
I don't hate that. I mean, you're saying it's a fun game, and if it's fun, it's fun. I respect that.
No, and it's definitely a great game for power fantasy, although the game does love throwing in bullshit. You don't have your powers this time for some reason.
Of course they do.
Because,
Power Fantasy is the name of my new power metal band.
It's good. Because, nothing's more exciting, nothing's more fun than, being nigh invincible with your laser katana and just shredding up aliens and hacking them in half. But then for some reason, they're just like, Yeah, we have power stopping grenades. And you're like, come on.
Who made these?
Come on.
Why would you make them a grenade? Make them mines. Anyway, maybe one day I'll try it, but I have no interest in going out there.
I'm just so curious about what you would think about it.
I think it's the best game I've ever played.
Oh, well, that's fair then, guys.
Guys, 10 out of 10. You guys...
I'm shocked, but you know what? It sounds concise and it sounds real.
I like to get right to the point, guys.
Guys, you know what?
Never played it, 10 out of 10.
You know what? Let's get right to the point right now and tell them that they should be saying hi to us in our various forms of media.
Send us an email telling us anything. You like the show? I want to hear about it. You hate the show?
If anyone's played
Saints
Saints Row 4, I want to hear you talk. I want to hear your opinions.
I'm sure someone has. Why don't you guys talk to us about it? Why don't you comment on...
We're not like your girlfriend. We like hearing it when you talk about video games.
Ugh. Getting weird over here.
I don't think it was that weird.
I'm grossed out.
Okay, that's fair.
Guys, comment on this video if you're watching on YouTube. Email us on the emails, whatever. Rate us on iTunes. We've gotten a few new ratings, which always brings me incredible joy. So keep doing it. I mean, you've already done it once. You don't have to do it again. Guys, that's the thing a lot of people don't know about. Once you do it one time, you never have to do it again. You're off the list, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
You're no longer guilty.
We keep a running tally. Jim Harkins. Come on, dude. It's time.
If you didn't say his last name, we could have gotten a lot of Jims to go for it.
Yeah, but now I'll think of the even more expensive Jim Harkins market we're going to get.
It's true. It's somehow bigger than the Jims market.
Right?
Right.
You know what else is bigger than the Jims market?
I do know.
Classic Sons of Video speed reviews. Tom, this is top 10 games. I don't know. Let's just go.
RPGs that aren't from a major franchise.
Number 10, Turtle Sonata.
Turtle Sonata is about this super duper long song. God, it never ends. It's like a sonata that just lasts and lasts and lasts. Gee whiz. 0 out of 10. Kingdoms of Malamar.
Kingdoms of Malamar is the sequel to Cooking Mama, except this time it mostly revolves around candy. It's the tastiest game you're ever going to play, but don't try eating the disc because it's plastic. It's a 9 out of 10. Number 8, The World Ends With You.
I don't even get your last review. World Ends With You is a game where you're a kid in headphones and he really likes that rap music. Wowee. 5 out of 10. Skies of Arcadia.
Skies of Arcadia is a great game. Also, the last review was, I said Kingdoms of Malamar.
Oh.
It was candy. So Skies of Arcadia gets 10 out of 10. Number 6, Shining Force 2.
Shining Force is a game about... actually, I can't really suss it out from the title. Seems pretty generic, though. It's for the Genesis, though. And Genesis was an alright band, so it gets 10 out of 10. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch.
This is based on the classic book The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and C.S. Lewis's fun Narnia adventures, and you get to play with all your friends, like Mr. Top Hat. So fall into your game case and go into a world of wonderment. 5 out of 10. Number 4, Lunar Silver Star Story Complete.
Guys, you ever have magazines like 10 years ago? Because whenever you used to open them up and like this PlayStation era, you'd always see advertisements for this game and they'd be like, finally, the whole thing's here. And I was like, where was it the whole time? So it gets 100 out of 10. Earthbound.
Yeah, of course it's Earthbound. All games are affected by gravity, you dumbo. Why even put it on the list? 0 out of 10. Number 2, Super Mario RPG 11 Silver Stars.
Super Mario RPG is a game that everyone likes, and I also like it because it was kind of neat, but I don't care about it that much, but everyone's nuts about it. But it's not as good as the next game on the list, so it gets 10 out of 10. Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger is a game Tom likes that I never played, but I played Chrono Cross, and that was good.
You played Chrono Cross?
Yeah.
Nice.
10 out of 10.
We did
Guys,
it!
see you next week.